Hi everyone! Much of the tune The Dance of Maya by John McLaughlin uses as its basis notes from a 1-2 octatonic scale beginning on E, the second mode of the octatonic scale beginning on C sharp. While McLaughlin doesn't exclusively use the notes of the scale, he harmonically centers both sections of the work around E. The opening harmony, for example, is an incomplete E dominant 7th chord, which returns regularly through the first section, and the second section, beginning at 2 minutes and 32 seconds, uses incomplete E major and major 6th chords lacking their thirds. The work also concludes with E major harmony. All of the notes of these E chords are found in the parent octatonic scale beginning on E, a usage which not only connects the work's sections to each other but also to the parent scale, while allowing the introduction of other notes and note combinations not found in that scale. As we'll see, some of the other note combinations, for example, are taken from the other octatonic scales. Harmonically, because the second section essentially consists only of the incomplete E major and major 6th chords over which the solos are played, and this melodic fragment, which again essentially uses only notes from the parent octatonic scale, I won't discuss the second section in any detail, but will instead concentrate on the first section. The first section consists of a repeated progression played by the guitar, electric piano and bass, over which the violin provides a melody beginning at 1 minute and 43 seconds. As mentioned, harmonically, the first section begins with an incomplete E dominant 7th chord, which returns initially after 2 bars, then after 4. Other incomplete dominant 7th chords are also included, and these chords, along with the E dominant 7th chords, create the following progression, which divides the section into 3 phrases: a 2-bar phrase, followed by 2 4-bar phrases, each beginning with the same incomplete dominant 7th chords. The third bar of both 4-bar phrases also begin with incomplete A dominant 7th chords, while the remaining dominant chords in both 4-bar phrases vary. While the majority of the notes of these incomplete dominant 7th chords are found in the octatonic scale beginning on E, some are not. The root note of the A dominant 7th chord, for example, is not found in that scale, nor are the 3rd and 7th degrees of this incomplete D dominant 7th chord. Each incomplete dominant 7th chord is separated by either 3 or 4 8th note beats, which may be heard either as harmony or non-harmony notes connecting the dominant chords. Here, for example, G sharp moves either as an incomplete lower neighbour note prefix to the root note of A dominant 7th harmony, or as E dominant's 3rd degree, resolving to A dominant's root note. The G may be heard as an anticipation of the A dominant chord's 7th degree, and the D sounds as the 7th degree of the preceding E dominant 7th chord, which then resolves to the A dominant's 3rd degree. Here also, F sharp sounds as an incomplete lower neighbour note prefix to the incomplete G dominant's root note. The F is an anticipation of G dominant's 7th degree, and the C is a passing note between C sharp and B. Like the notes of the incomplete dominant 7th chords, the notes of these connecting note combinations are also not all found in the octatonic scale beginning on E. This F sharp and C, for example, are not present in that scale. Along with the incomplete dominant 7th chords and the connecting note combinations, McLaughlin also includes 2 triads. The first occurs here in the second bar of the 2-bar phrase, and the second here in the 4th bar of the initial 4-bar phrase. Inclusion of these triads can perhaps be explained as other examples of connecting note combinations between the dominant 7th chords, or as signals of the phrase conclusions. Interestingly, except for the two triads, each of the three-note combinations sounding either as incomplete dominant seventh chords or connecting note combinations may be reduced to a note framed by a tritone. When arranged this way, all of the intervals in the incomplete dominant seventh chords contain, when expressed as semitones, 2, 4, and 6, and the intervals of the connecting note combinations 1, 5, and 6. The triads, by contrast, contain 3, 4, and 7. The notes of the underlying progression then, while not exclusively taken from the octatonic scale beginning on E, are unified not only by that scale's notes when they're present, but also by the same dominant seventh chords used at the beginnings of each phrase, and the intervallic consistency of the alternating dominant seventh chords and connecting note combinations. The violin's melody, beginning at 1 minute and 43 seconds, also does not exclusively use the notes of the octatonic scale beginning on E. Its notes, however, when combined with the incomplete dominant seventh chords, complete the chord or create extensions. The violin's initial C note, not found in the parent octatonic scale for example, sounds as the sharpened fifth degree of the underlying incomplete E dominant seventh chord, and these notes, all present in the octatonic scale, add the A dominant seventh's missing fifth degree and its ninth. This triad also, while sounding as a D minor chord without the violin's melody, becomes B flat major seventh harmony when combined with the violin's B flat. The concluding note combinations of this section may each be reduced to a group, either framed by a perfect fifth or tritone. When the intervals of these groups are expressed as semitones, they alternate between 2, 1, 3, 6 and 1, 3, 3, 7 combinations. These combinations use notes from the octatonic scale beginning on C, and these from the octatonic scale beginning on D, while the central combination uses notes derived from the work's parent scale, the second mode of the octatonic scale beginning on C sharp. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.